Welcome to Timeless Story, where every tale is a journey beyond time. Ready to dive in? Let's go.
In a room adorned with royal furniture, a unique fireplace was lit. Trump Hotep was lounging on one sofa, holding a cup of tea, while Elizabeth Merkel sat on another. The soft ticking of the clock's hands echoed in the room. Both were waiting in silence when suddenly Trump Hotep spoke. "Well, Liz, it's time to hear today's story. I heard this one's about a shepherd, or maybe two girls with their sheep." Elizabeth, with a piercing gaze and without a smile, responded, "Or perhaps it's about a man who works instead of showing off and respects all people, including women." At that moment, Johnson entered the room and asked them both to listen carefully to the story. He immediately began narrating the continuation of the story of Prophet Moses. When Prophet Moses arrived at the gates of Midian, he was exhausted and hungry. For 3 days and nights, he had eaten nothing and was now sitting by a well where the people of the city brought their sheep and livestock to drink. At that moment, his eyes fell upon two young girls standing a little further away, apart from the crowd of men. They had a flock of sheep with them, but did not approach the well. Moses, surprised, asked them, "Why don't you go forward and water your flock?" The girls replied with modesty, "We're waiting for the shepherds to finish their work. Our father is an elderly man and cannot come here. That's why we've come to water the sheep ourselves." Moses felt compassion for them. He stood up, walked to the well, and filled the heavy bucket, which normally required 10 men to lift, all by himself, and watered their sheep. Then he sat under the shade of a tree and, in a state of desperation, prayed to his Lord, "My God, I am in need of any good you send down to me." The girls returned home earlier than usual that day. Their father, Prophet Shuaib, asked in surprise, "How did you come back so early today?" They recounted the story of the stranger who had helped them without expecting anything in return. Hearing this, Shuaib sent one of the girls to invite him, saying, "Go and bring him so I may reward him for his kindness." The girl, with utmost modesty, approached Moses and said, "My father invites you. He wishes to thank you for helping us today." Moses walked with her, but as the wind moved her dress, and since he did not want his gaze to fall upon her, he said, "Walk behind me and show me the way by throwing pebbles." When they reached the house, Moses shared his story. The oppression of the Pharaoh's people, his forced escape, his loneliness, and his poverty. Shuaib, with kindness, said, "You are safe here. You have escaped the oppressors." One of the girls said to her father, "Father, hire this man. He is both strong and trustworthy." Shuaib asked, "How did you know he is trustworthy?" She replied, "On the way, he did not allow me to walk ahead of him, so his gaze would not fall upon me." Shuaib, finding the young man worthy, said, "I wish to marry one of my daughters to you on the condition that you work for me for 8 years. If you wish, you may stay for 10 years. I do not want to make it hard for you." Moses accepted with an open heart, and being a man of his word, he stayed with Shuaib for 10 years and served him. After those years, Moses came to Shuaib and said, "Now it is time for me to return to my homeland and my family. What reward will you give me for these years?" Shuaib replied, "Every lamb born this year that is spotted will belong to you." And as it happened, all the lambs born that year were spotted. Moses prepared to leave. Shuaib provided him with provisions for the journey. Moses asked, "Give me a staff to take with me on the road." Shuaib said, "Go to the storeroom and choose any staff you like." Moses went to the storeroom, but every time his hand was drawn to a staff that had been passed down from Prophet Noah and Prophet Abraham. Shuaib, seeing this, smiled and said, "This staff is yours. God has chosen you for it." Moses set out toward Egypt with his wife and sheep. One night, in the darkness and cold, he saw a light from afar. He said to his family, "Stay here. I will go toward that fire to perhaps bring back some embers to warm us." When he approached the fire, he saw flames rising from a tree. Each time he got closer, the flames moved toward him, and Moses stepped back in fear. The third time, a voice called out, "O Moses, I am the Lord of the worlds." Moses, trembling, asked, "Give me a sign." The voice said, "What is that in your hand?" He replied, "It is my staff." The voice commanded, "Throw it down." Moses threw the staff, and it turned into a great, terrifying serpent. He fled in fear. The Lord said, "Do not fear, take it." Moses took it, and the staff returned to its original form. The command came, "Now put your hand inside your collar." Moses did so, and when he pulled it out, his hand was white and radiant, as if it split the darkness of the night. The Lord said, "These two are signs of your prophethood. Go to Pharaoh and his corrupt people." Moses said, "My Lord, I once killed one of them, and I fear they will not accept my words about you. Send my brother Aaron with me." The Lord said, "Do not worry. I will send Aaron with you and will be your support. You will be victorious. It is written in the books that the blessed staff, the one passed from Noah and Abraham to Moses, is now with the Qaim of the house of Muhammad. It is fresh and green, as it was the day it was cut from the branch. That staff, on the day it is destined, will unveil the divine secrets and perform miracles like those of Moses." Trump said, "You know what's strange, Liz? Moses, 3 days without eating anything. No pizza, no steak, nothing. He just said to God, 'Lord, I need whatever good you send me.' At that moment, he just wanted a piece of date, just half a date. But you know what happened? God gave him a home, a wife, sheep, and all that alongside another of his prophets. What does it mean? It means God doesn't give sparingly. You just have to truly ask him." Elizabeth said, "You know what impressed me? The moment Shuaib's daughters were by the well, how dignified they were, how modest. In that crowded place full of men, they didn't mingle with the crowd or seek attention. They waited, nobly, respectfully. And when one of them went to Moses, even her walk was full of grace. That modesty wasn't a sign of weakness. On the contrary, it was a sign of inner strength." Johnson told Trump Hotep to bring his brother to hear the rest of the story. Hey, thanks a lot for sticking with us. If you liked the story, hit that subscribe button. And yeah, feel free to share it with your friends too. Drop a comment. We really want to hear what you think. Catch you in the next episode.